Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Game Rivals. I'm your host Maximilian X, and today we're going to be talking about the state of play that happened a while back, but we're here. We're going to be talking about that along with a recurring guest who I enjoy having on the set or on the interwebs, as always. It's Denirukun. Say hi, Denirukun.
Hi, Denirukun. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I am full of energy. I just rewatched this whole state of play, so I've got thoughts. I'm ready.
Oh wow, you actually rewatched it. Okay. I
Mhm.
usually go off the initial vibes. So
Oh,
um
I know. You know what? I'll save my initial thought, but I'm just gonna say the vibe that I had after I watched it,
mhm.
I didn't know how to process it, so I had to go back and watch it to see if how I felt then is
Mhm.
still how I felt
Yeah.
because it was a weird feeling. It left me. We'll get into. It. We'll get into. It. We'll get into.
Yeah.
It.
Sure.
Don't worry.
All right. So state of play. Right. It dropped like on the 23rd. Sorry. I meant the
The
13th.
12th
12th.
was
12th was Wednesday, right?
yes.
Yeah. So that was the 12th. You're right. Yeah, so they dropped it the day before they announced that it was going to happen, but rumors beforehand were already saying that it was going to come. So it was not that big of a surprise. Also, they usually held a state of play around this time of year, anyways. Yeah, so that kind of tracks because we had the Xbox developer direct like a couple of weeks, so makes sense. This one I see a lot of mixed like reception to it. Some
Mm-hmm.
people like praise it for having content that wasn't boring, and some are like, "Oh, this was kind of lackluster. There weren't really any PlayStation games in there from Sony themselves." And well, yeah, that makes kind of sense if you've been keeping tabs on like what's going on in the industry. If you have not, a quick 411. Sony invested a lot in a bunch of live service games, and since some of them fell flat on their feet, Concord, they decided
Rip.
to cancel a bunch of them, and that's why we don't have a lot of games from Sony at this point. And I think for this year, expect a lean year from Sony themselves in terms of game releases. If this is their showing for a state of play, I don't know if they'll have a PlayStation showcase this summer like they usually would do around Summer Game Fest. I don't know. They canceled a bunch of projects, so all these studios are basically starting from scratch on new projects, assuming they have new projects to work on. Which is kind of sad because most of them found out that their projects were canceled the moment we found out that their projects were canceled. So that probably does not help with their morale. That being said, this state of play, in my personal opinion, did have some really cool stuff in it, even if most of it is third party stuff, which is fine. I'm used to that stuff. I mean, last year's Nintendo Directs were all partner showcases instead of regular Nintendo Directs that is mostly heavy loaded with like Nintendo titles. So I'm used to that, and I don't mind them. Partner Directs can always be good, and that's why I feel like this state of play was not half bad. Some titles, okay, yeah, but yeah, most of it was pretty good. I don't know how you feel about it after rewatching it yourself, Denny, but I think it was just fine.
Yeah, and believe it or not, that's actually my gripe with the showcases. It was just fine.
Mm,
I mean, I remember reading some of the rumors, and I think obviously rumors obviously need to be taken with a large grain of salt.
mm,
And but I think they also set a very interesting expectation of what we want to see it, or what maybe, those rumors obviously pander to us as gamers about, what we'd be excited for.
yeah.
Um, But yeah, I agree. I think it was a it was a good showcase.
Hmm.
It was a strong showcase for partners, absolutely.
Yep.
One thing I really, really liked is a majority of those games that we got to see are all coming out this year,
Yeah.
which is something I was
A
happy about.
lot
There
of them are
wasn't a
actually
ton.
coming out in like the first quarter, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot. I think the only game that I remember off the top of my head that was a very, very late release date, I think was like Borderlands 4 coming out in like September.
Yeah, that's coming out in fall. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that was the latest one.
Well,
Other
that
than
one,
that, yeah,
that one and Metal Gear Solid Delta, but that one got leaked by Sony themselves.
yeah.
Way to go, Sony!
Good job. Sony's great at keeping secrets. I don't know if you know that. They just like every
it's not
year
like it
someone
hasn't
spills
happened
the beans
before.
for them. Now,
Yeah, I mean,
um,
including themselves. So,
of course. Um,
it started off strong though.
no, it
At
did.
least I
And
did.
and and honestly, one of the first games that caught my eye, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Oh, I want this game," was the Shinobi game.
Oh, okay.
I loved like I haven't played a Shinobi game in a long time. Like the last one I played was like Shinobi 3 on my Genesis.
Oh, okay.
So, that was kind of like at that time you like Nintendo had Ninja Gaiden,
Mm-hmm.
so Sega had Shinobi, right?
Yeah.
Strider was somewhere in the middle there, who knows. So yeah, when I saw the Shinobi game, and it's that classic 2D style, really well like hand-drawn art sprites, I was
Mm,
like, this is a game I'd pick up. And it
yeah.
looks really, really cool. So like that got me excited for more. And then some of the games I was just kind of like, okay, cool, whatever, don't really care. Oh, great, another remake or definitive edition of what was it? Days Gone.
I feel so sorry for Days Gone. Like
What do you do?
it's not a bad game. It's just I think it came out at a time that people are kind of done with like zombies.
Well, here's my question. Does it really, and this is what I always ask,
Hmm.
does it really warrant a re-release?
No, absolutely not. But money.
Yeah, sure, great. I understand that too. But how much money are you actually going to make off a re-release? When I think the initial game, like the base game or the original release, is
Hmm.
free on PlayStation Plus, why am I going to spend $80 on a definitive edition?
Well, I think if you have, might have a
Yeah, there's an upgrade. There's an upgrade
yeah, there is
cost
a
if you have the base.
upgrade, but I don't think it applies to PlayStation Plus version,
Mm-mm. And also,
which sucks.
you saw what they did with Horizon, right?
Yeah,
So
they botched that one.
yeah, and that's the thing. They did well. When you say botched, are we talking about how they increased the price of the regular game, the
Yeah,
base PS4 game,
yeah,
so that the $10 upgrade was the same price as
yeah,
buying the remaster?
yeah. That's so.
Bro, Sony deserves to be leaked at this time and point. Like when you pull off bonehead moves like that and you are not doing something for your consumer base, you deserve to be leaked.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, not great. That was not a great move from them. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, but uh, I mean, yeah, I mean, I still stand by my statement. Like, Days Gone is not a bad game. It's a solid game. It's just a shame that not a lot of people played it or like were interested in playing it. And now it's like, yeah, cool, you did the remaster and you're doing it that way, but I don't know. I feel like there would have been a better way to do that instead of have it be like an upgrade thing. Like just be like, oh yeah, like if you play it on a PlayStation 5, it'll have like upgraded graphics instead of
Yeah.
like repackaging it. I mean, that's what Microsoft did, and not everybody was like on board with that. With the
Mm.
like, what was it called? They called it something. They had a specific term for it.
The enhanced version. Like I remember they did that with the Xbox One games, right? Like if you had an
No, no,
Xbox
no.
One game.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't an enhanced version, but they called it something else for this Xbox Series. Damn,
Oh,
I don't know.
really?
I don't remember. I used to bring
Now
it
I
up
gotta look
all
it
the
up.
time. Now I forgot. But yeah, so that was like you didn't have to pay squat. You just got the Xbox One version of that game for free.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. They did that with PC games too. So if you bought like, yeah, 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 I know what you're talking about.
And
Uh, I forgot what it's called, but no, I know exactly what you're talking about now. Is it like
yeah,
automatic upgrade or something?
it was something like auto upgrade or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, we're talking about PlayStation today.
Yeah. So yeah, so with yeah, I mean, outside of that, we saw some other stuff that we already were aware of. Borderlands 4 got a release date. I look, it looks fine. It looks okay. Like
It's a
I'm not
Borderlands
a
game.
exactly. I personally I'm not a big Borderlands fan myself. I appreciate the franchise. It's cool. It's fun. Like the early games were interesting. But yeah, Randy Pitchford kind of soured me on everything. Like every time I see his face, I'm just like,
You son of
yeah. I'm sorry. Here's the thing with Randy Pitchford. Did you get all the alleged rumors about the guy?
I
You,
no, but now I'm gonna look this up because
yeah,
you've
you
mentioned
don't.
it.
You don't want to know.
I'm about to find out.
He
So
is allegedly, and I have to say allegedly because I don't want to get sued. He is allegedly into some freaky stuff. So I'll just leave it at
like
that.
like P Diddy freaky
No,
stuff
no, no, no,
or
no. Thank goodness, no, no. Otherwise, he would have like been kicked out a long time. No,
oh, okay.
no, no. But man, why do people's minds go there like first, like right away?
Because you said freaky.
Yeah, but there's different levels of freaky.
Okay, but this is the ultimate freaky, so we have to know where. Like, if we did like a episode where we did like a tier list of freaky stuff, like he's S tier.
Uh, wait, Diddy or Randy Pitchford?
Probably Diddy.
Okay, okay. No, Randy was. I mean, there.
Hold on.
Yeah, just.
I just read something about his research material.
Oh no! Yeah, no. Just
Is that the stuff we're talking about?
Allegedly among the
Oh,
stuff. Yes, allegedly among the
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
allegedly.
Don't Google it, listener slash viewer. If
I
you
did. You don't want to
you
know.
don't want to know.
I'm tarnished.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. That kind of soured me a little bit, and their whole bit of Randy. It's like, okay, yeah, cool. You're both called Randy. That's cute.
Yeah,
Like,
it seemed a little fake and like ammed up.
like it's when I meet another Max, like, hey Max, oh hey Max, like, yeah, sure. It's cute the first time, but after you, it wears out its welcome very quickly. That being said, I really hope that this one is a better received game because I don't think a lot of people really like Borderlands 3 as much as they did 1 and 2. So yeah, there's that. Other stuff that they showed off. One of the first games that they showed off, Monster Hunter Wilds. Holy crap! I love that game. I played the beta. I played the open beta. It's good. It's
Yeah.
good. Yeah, yeah, it's good. I love it. Like they added some new um, battle mechanics, traversal mechanics. I think that was some of it was already in Monster Hunter Worlds, but it's implemented slightly differently in. It's pretty cool. And you have a mount that you can ride on. You can use two. You can switch between weapons when you ride on your
Mm-hmm.
mount. So you can switch one for another, which is really great because the thing with Monster Hunter is you have to, when you go into a hunt, you have to commit to a weapon unless you go all the way back to like the main camp and then go out. And it's way more open world. So you have a fixed camp. You still have your quests, so it'll load you into a quest when you select the quest from the quest board. But you can also just go out into the world and create your own quests, your own hunting quests by picking up the map, opening the map, looking for any big monsters. You select the monster, you're like, hey, I want to quest this. You can post that quest, and if you're playing with other people, they can join in at that moment, and then you're like, let's go. So you have your hunting party, you go after the monster, you defeat it, you get the quest rewards, and then you can basically like immediately jump into like another monster if there's another monster in the area, or just bring up the map and do it that way. Or you can just go back to the main base camp, talk to you don't even have to go back to the base camp because I don't know if this is also in multiplayer because I haven't done multiplayer yet. But the quest giver usually stays at the base camp. In Wilds, she's just traveling with you. Occasionally she'll put some items in your mount's satchel so that you can like replenish some stuff. And yeah, it's really cool. I love it. I love the mechanics. Your Palico actually talks now, so you can actually talk to your little cat friend. I'm not so sure if I'm really happy with that, I do
You
have
don't like talking to your pets?
no, but no, I don't mind talking. I don't have pets. But I don't
Fair
mind
enough.
talking to the Palico. But the Palico in previous games, their speech was like a cat speech, so they just meowed. But now they actually like talk, like with words. That's the big difference. And when they're helping you on a quest, when you're in the field, they banter. Not too much, thank goodness, but enough for me to notice that they kind of banter a lot. And I
Yeah.
have the game set to Japanese, so it doesn't bother me that much. It's just noticeable, which made me go like, oh. And then I saw some footage of people playing it in English, and I was like, oh, no, I don't like that. I don't really like that. No, I don't like that. It's fine if you like it. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I'm just saying I don't know if you can dial the banter down. Sometimes they'll say something handy like, "Hey, here's a heal," and then you're like, "Oh, good, thanks for the heal," or like, "I'm gonna cleanse you," or "Hey,
Mhm.
I set a trap," or "I picked up a trap," which is also a really cool thing that they do now. They set traps. Like if the loadout allows for it, they will set a trap, like a shock trap or a pitfall trap. Um, Are those the only? Yeah. So shock trap or pitfall trap, and if the monster moves away, and we go after them. They will retrieve the trap that they set, and then bring it with you because traps are very precious, which is cool. Because
That's
now,
actually
if
really neat.
it is really neat, because now if you want to trap a monster instead of slaying it, you don't necessarily have to do it yourself, barring your palico actually putting down a trap when you need it, because you can't really tell them like, "Hey, put down a trap," unless you're doing multiplayer and you're talking to like other people, like, "Hey, put down a trap," or
Mhm.
"I just put down a trap." So yeah, I don't know if they pick up your traps that you put down because I have not been able to make a trap in the beta. I don't have the items for it to make traps, and the beta does not allow you to create weapons. So, I mean, which makes sense. It's a beta. They wouldn't allow you to do the cool stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's Monster
They got
Hunter.
they gotta get you to buy the game, right?
Yeah, exactly. But they do give you a nice little perk if you've played the beta. They give you
Oh, good.
like a free skin or something. And
We talked about this before, right? The perks
yeah,
of playing the demos and betas,
yeah, we did in the previous episode.
right?
If you haven't listened to it, check it out. It's a good listen. So that was Monster Hunter. My apologies. I went on a little tangent there.
It's all good. It was a good
Uh,
tangent.
are
Shit,
there
man,
any?
you might have sold me on the game.
Hey, if you're gonna get it, let me know. It has crossplay now, Monster Hunter for the first time ever, I think. So
Nice.
that would
Yeah,
be
I might.
awesome.
I think I played the demo for the one before this. What was it called? Monster Hunter.
Wilds or do you mean Rise?
Yeah, I think Wilds. I don't know. It was a PC demo. I probably still
Yeah,
have it on
then
Steam
okay, then it's probably Wilds or Rise, one of the two.
because the last actual Monster Hunter game I played. Sorry, welcome to the Monster Hunter episode. Was the one on 3DS,
Hmm.
and I think it was it the one. Was it a remake of Try, or was it called Monster Hunter Try, or was that the one on the
The
Wii?
one on 3DS, yeah, that was a remake of Try. Yeah.
I think yeah, that's the one I played was Monster Hunter Try
Oh wow, that's a
on
while
the
ago.
3DS.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's been a while since.
Try was my entry into Monster Hunter.
Oh, really? Mine was
Yeah.
like on the Vita. No, on the PSP.
Oh, damn, okay.
Yeah. Actually, me and a friend would play Monster Hunter on a PSP research application.
Hmm.
And we found a way. I think it was Monster Hunter Freedom Unite because there was actually co-op in that, so you could
Yeah,
play
that's right.
like with two PSPs. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
So it's been a while, so I might check it out. I mean, the games look gorgeous and they look like they run fantastic. So
Yeah, I
um,
mean,
yeah.
it it runs like a dream on my Series S. So
Okay.
yeah,
Nice.
which is nice, which is just saying a lot. Consider all things considering with the Series S. All right, are there any games that stood out to you when you watched it?
Yeah, there were a couple. I actually felt like I had like a top 3 of games that I would want to play,
Right?
out of everything that I saw. It's actually 4 now, after rewatching it.
Hmm.
Um, the first one was Shinobi. The other one was it just caught me by surprise. I saw it, I'm like, "This looks like fun."
Hmm.
Was, Mind's Eye,
Right. That
right?
was. Hang on, which one was that one
Um,
again?
it was like a kinda like futuristic, I'm gonna call it GTA from the future.
Oh, that one. Right,
Um,
right, 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 right,
yeah.
right, right, right. Yeah. Yeah,
Because
that.
it's, from the same, oh, I forgot his name, but it is like, Leslie something. Oh my god, I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, I think that he was like part of the team of the original team of for Grand Theft Auto or something.
Yeah, he was the game dir he was, I think he was the director.
Yeah.
And
Right,
then
right,
I
right,
don't know
right.
what happened. He left, he started his own thing, and this is, I think, his game. It looks great. It really, you can tell
You can tell the
where the
DNA.
vision, you can tell, yeah, the DNA is definitely Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
With a really serious tone and obviously that futuristic, setting.
Mm,
So that caught my eye.
yeah.
That is definitely one I'd wanna play. The other one was, what's it called? Tides of Annihilation.
Right. That one was yeah, weird.
The weird, I'm just call it the British one? Well, because I think the setting is in London.
Oh, I
So
think it might have. Yeah, I think.
everybody has that British accent in the trailer. It looks
Yeah, you're
cool.
right.
I
You're
really
right.
liked it.
Oh, I was thinking of the other one. Sorry. Yeah, this is the one with the seemingly all female cast.
Possibly.
Be
Yeah,
wrong.
I think everyone that was in that game that we saw was was female. I don't remember.
Yeah. So I mean,
It
it
looked
looked
fun.
fine. It looked fine. It looked good. It looked really good actually. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
Like graphically, I mean, it looked
Yeah.
pretty good. I mean, there are a lot of games that looked actually really good.
Well, a lot of them were running on PS5 Pro hardware, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. One of them was
Little asterisks.
Lost Soul Aside.
Mhm.
Man, that looked like a
Yep.
gosh darn like Square Enix title from like
I thought it
circa
looked more like Devil May Cry. Or maybe it
aesthetic.
looked like
Yeah,
it played more like,
aesthetically, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But like the cinematography and like the character design feels way more.
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
see, I looked at it and I was like, for a minute when I caught it out of the corner, I'm like, this kind of does look like something like Creative Unit 3 would do.
Mm-hmm.
So very Final Fantasy 16ish.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah. This also from a Chinese developer, which
Yeah.
they are pop. I'm not gonna lie, they are kind of popping off. I
Oh
said
yeah.
so when I did my live reaction. Like they are popping off. It's like kind of crazy.
They're putting out some good stuff right now.
Yeah, I mean, first we had Black Myth Wukong, and now this. I mean, we had some titles before
Yeah.
that were
But
okay, like kind of weak on the gameplay as a point, but like
they were more
graphically
of the
wise, they
gotcha style
were.
games, right?
Oh no, I'm not even talking about. I'm not even talking about Hoyoverse. I'm talking
Okay.
about. Damn it, there was one that Xbox showed off like a couple of years ago. Birth something Insider or whatever. Also on PC. I don't remember. It's like this first-person shooter game that was made by one guy, allegedly, and it looked great. Apparently, the gameplay was kind of mid, though,
Really?
which makes sense if it's like just one guy making a game and it looks the way it does. It looks really good, but I mean, corners are gonna get cut somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So if it feels good for the developer and there's little like playtesting or whatever or refining, then yeah, then the gameplay might end up being a little bit mid. Um, yeah. So we talked about Mind's Eye a little bit, which looks good. Onimusha,
Mm-hmm.
they which we already kind of knew because Onimusha was already announced at the
Game
Game
Awards, I think.
Awards,
Yeah. Yeah.
and Onimusha, the remake of Onimusha 2 got announced like before the state of play because Capcom had their own showcase like days before. So it's
Yep.
like, oh yeah, Onimusha 2 is like, we already knew that was a thing. Sonic
I
Racing CrossWorlds. I
I
would,
feel like this is where I need to step in on that.
I kind of expected you actually to mention that as one of your most anticipated games.
So hot take. I hate Sonic racing games.
Wow, really? Okay, why?
So, I mean, I've played a lot of them. So
Mhm.
I obviously starting with Sonic R. I've played the
Do we
Sega
count
and
that?
Sonic All-Star games. It's a racing game. In fact, I count that more than these games. Like, why the hell is a character who's supposed to be the fastest thing on his feet in a freaking car?
Okay, you're on that camp.
I'm that camp. No, it's just a small thing that bothers me. So here's the thing,
Yeah.
and this is the one and only time I may say this. I think
Mhm.
it's just Mario Kart has ruined me for other kart racers.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Yep. I didn't I
Wait.
started playing Mario Kart like around
Mhm.
really getting into it with like a group of friends like around Mario Kart 7.
Mm.
So really 7 and 8 are the ones that I've played a lot of.
Oh,
In
okay.
fact, Mario Kart 8 I had on the Wii U
Same.
and I have it on the Switch. But
Same. What's your point?
no, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. There's only 13 million of us who owned a Wii U, so
Fair, fair.
we're part of an exclusive club.
Yeah.
No, it's just, I've gone back and I played Sonic All-Star Racings or whatever it's called, Sega Sonic All-Star Racings featuring
Mhm.
Banjo-Kazooie, whatever weird title that was. And they're just, I don't know, there's a feel to them that just feel not right. And I don't know what it is. So I'm not I'm not excited. I'm not
Okay.
jumping off. Like if they announce like a different Sonic game, like if this was a Sonic Heroes remake, or we're finally getting our first glimpse of Sonic Frontiers 2 coming out in 2026, whatever, something like that. Sure, that would be number one on my list. I would have been jumping up and down in my seat. Like I'd be losing my mind.
Yeah.
But it's a racing game and they're trying to use the mechanic that they use in the story of the Sonic movies as the main mechanic in the game, where you travel through these ring portals and you play a different map or whatever, or a different section in a different environment. Okay, cool. Meh.
Hey, I'm sorry. I saw Metal Harbor and I was like instantly like, yeah.
Don't get me wrong. The music was great. It all looked amazing. And internally, I'm like, I love the homage to other Sonic games.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to do that, give me like a Sonic Generations. Give me an homage to other Sonic games.
Yeah,
Don't
I
just
mean,
throw
they
them in
did.
a racing game.
They did. It was called Sonic Mania, and it was awesome.
So good. Oh, so good.
So good. Yeah, that's not happening ever again. By the way.
No, I know, and that's a shame. Best rated game in a decade.
Yeah, I think.
And y'all don't want to make another one?
Yeah, you know why? I think Sonic Team got salty.
Why? Because someone else did their job better?
Yeah, I honestly believe that.
They deserve to be leaked too. Sorry.
No, but seriously, I honestly believe that because we talked about this in the previous episode when we talked about demos, when we talked about Sonic Extreme. Similar thing. They didn't want like an outside team making a mainline Sonic game with their engine.
But
like,
here's my thing. That was then, and that's fine. Guys, welcome to the Sonic podcast now. The guys that did Sonic Mania, they're already well known because they've done the ports for the mobile versions of Sonic CD, Sonic 1, Sonic 2, using their own proprietary engine.
Yep.
And it was all a proof of concept to Sega first. And then they're like, yeah, okay, cool, do it. If you're going to trust these people to take classic games and modernize them for modern platforms, and they do a great job to the point where you've already accepted a pitch for a celebration game, why are you salty then? Just because they did it better? You knew they were going to do it better because they're so good at recreating the original. You didn't think they'd be able to do something with with new content and creating a new game using that same engine?
Yeah. Oh.
You should have licensed it. You should have made it your own proprietary engine then.
Yeah.
And use it.
I don't think that was going to happen. I don't think Christian Whitehead would have like let it go.
No, fine, and that's fair. But I'm just saying, like, if you want to be like, if I was Sega, quick side note, if I was Sega, I'd license it from him. That means he makes money off it.
I would go one step further and just hire him outright.
Yeah, make him part of the team. He clearly has passion for it. Yeah. Whatever. Do something. And then you can be like, hey, this is a Sega game still. Like, you can have your pie and eat it too, I guess. I don't know. It's just make good games, people. Come on.
Yeah. When oldies get feel like they're being outplayed by the youngsters, they tend to not play nice.
I know, but still, come on.
Yeah. Again, this is all just my speculation. This is not fact. So please don't at me.
Just to kind of solidify your point, it makes sense because if you think about it, Sonic Mania came out.
Doesn't it?
Widely loved.
Mm-hmm.
And then the hot garbage that was Sonic Forces.
Dude, that wasn't even the game that came out afterwards.
I thought it was. They're literally
there's one game that came out afterwards. Sonic Origins.
No, that came out way later. Sonic Forces and Sonic Mania came out side by side because technically, lore-wise, Sonic Mania leads into Sonic Forces based on the ending.
But it does?
Yep.
Okay, I've never beaten Sonic Mania, I'm gonna be honest.
Both games came out in 2017.
Sonic Origins came out in 2022.
Yeah, Sonic Forces is 2017. They were both kind of the 25th anniversary projects.
Oh, okay. That's why. Yeah. So I'm technically right. It did come out after Mania.
That's the wrong kind of right. That's just listen. It's too late. Let's.
All right. Okay. Sorry. My apologies. Moving on.
Let's keep going.
Yeah. So I mean, we talked about Shinobi. SAROS. What's your opinion on SAROS?
I don't know how I feel.
It's another house.
It looks interesting. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I need to see more. I don't think we saw a lot of it. It seems cool.
It's a CG trailer.
Exactly. That's it, right? I mean, the one thing that was kind of interesting, I don't know if it's the main character is brown. That's new to me.
Mm-hmm.
As a brown person myself. And I'm just like, that's interesting. And it makes me wonder if they're going to pull, like, sometimes obviously a lot of games will pull inspiration from different mythologies.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Obviously we see a lot of Greek and Norse mythology used a lot. So I'm just wondering if what kind of, because there's a lot of imagery in that trailer that alluded to, like, let's say Hindu mythology.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just kind of wondering if that's my curiosity's peaked about that, but I also want to see some gameplay because Returnal was decent.
Yeah, I mean, it's technically, at least from what I understood, it's a spiritual successor to Returnal.
Yeah.
It's the same like concept essentially, apparently, as Returnal. So expect a roguelike game.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait to pass more judgment on this game when we get the extended gameplay look.
Yeah, when we get actual
later
gameplay look.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. Aesthetically, it looks interesting enough. Yeah, I don't know. It's a wait and see with me on that.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Metal Eden. Do you remember that one?
I'm gonna quickly try and refresh my memory on it because that's not a good sign if I don't remember the game.
Okay, let me put it this way. Like, look it up and like, I don't know if you could watch the trailer, but the first thought that I had, and I think everybody else had, because I watched other people's reactions, was the same thing. Everybody thought this was Marathon. Until the game dropped, and then it was like, oh, it's not Marathon, it's a new game. Which is interesting because it had a lot of visual cues from Marathon, but the way it looked, I was like, this can't be Marathon.
No.
Because it looks like a single-player game. And Marathon is not a single-player game unless they retooled it in a very short time to turn it into a single-player game. It's not. It's a completely different game altogether.
Yeah. I'm skimming through the trailer right now, and honestly, meh.
Yeah, it was...
for me.
I mean, I'm not saying it's great. I just said it reminded me of...
No, it does. It kind of...
Marathon trailer.
Yeah, like I get a little bit of... Looking at it right now, it's almost like... Do you remember... I think it's Ghost Runner?
Ghost Runner?
There's a game called Ghost
Oh,
Runner.
yeah. The one with the where you wield the katana and stuff, right?
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
Ghost Runner meets Doom in terms of visuals and gameplay for just like first like impression.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems okay. It's another generic like this and okay, you know what? This game just it's a generic sci-fi shooter to me with maybe some fun wall running Mirror's Edge style like parkour mechanics maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's all right. I mean, is it a day one for me? Absolutely not. Is it pick it up on sale? Maybe. It'd have to be like dirt cheap for me to pick it up on sale and there's nothing else good to play. I don't know. I have no interest in this one, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I felt about Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, I'm over that series, man.
I saw that. I was like, not another one. Secret of the Mimic? Nah, no, thanks, pass.
The one thing I will give them credit for is that, like, I've played, I think, the original one only, which was kind of like a more of a point and click type of thing. This looks a little more interesting if what we saw was not just cinematic and actual gameplay. If we're getting kind of a game, because, okay, full disclosure, I haven't played the other ones. If we're kind of getting a game where we're actually exploring a little bit more, like, and we're actually interacting with the environment and doing kind of like a BioShocky first-person view, going and doing stuff.
Yeah.
I might be intrigued, but again, not going to be like, gotta play it.
I don't think this is the first game that does that kind of gameplay, but I understand what you're saying. I'm just so over the whole Five Nights at Freddy's thing. It feels like beating a dead horse at this point.
It's too much, man. Like, I don't know. Like, it's been a decade of games.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been way too many games. Scott Cawthorn like went really hard, and then he was like, you know what? My work here is done. I'm just gonna cash my checks, and other people are gonna be in charge of the franchise. He did the right move.
Yeah, no,
absolute right.
Good on him for getting the bag, right?
Yeah, he got the bag. He definitely got the bag. Another one that I also was like, is Hell Is Us. And you know what the really worrying thing about it is? Remember how we just talked about Metal Eden?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I felt about Hell Is Us. Because when I saw that trailer pop up, I was like, what the heck is this? And then I saw Hell Is Us, and I was like, oh yeah, that did already announce Hell Is Us. I'm like, huh. Okay, this, like, because it feels like, I think it's Hell Is Us. It felt like Alien.
Yeah.
Like the Alien franchise. And for the longest time, I thought it was going to be a new Alien game. And then I realized, oh, wait, we didn't see a Sega logo. So it might not be Alien. And then it turned out to be Hell Is Us. And then I was actually kind of disappointed.
You know, it's kind of funny.
Oh, no, I'm not thinking of the other one. We're going to get to that one. But yeah, sorry.
It's kind of funny where we're watching these trailers. And it's like, I feel like, you know, as we're watching these trailers and seeing all these announcements, if there's a game and we're like, oh, what is this? Is this another Aliens game, for example?
Yeah.
I think you've already, as a developer or whoever's put the trailer, whatever you want to call it, as a group who's behind marketing this game, you've already failed. If this game is supposed to be something new and not a sequel for a franchise or something, and we're already going, oh, this looks like this game, or hey, this is this game, you've dropped the ball.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but you could also look at it from another perspective, which is what I think their aim was, is that they wanted you to be reminded of a different franchise so that you'd be interested in looking into the game. Like, hey, this is not Aliens. This is called Hell Is Us. What is this game? I've never heard of it. Let me check it out. Let me see if it's good.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. I'm going to do a quick callback here. Are you interested in Marathon?
No, because I don't like live service games.
Okay, fair enough. I just wanted to know if you're interested in Marathon because you also mentioned that, oh, hey, this game looks like Marathon. You knew about Marathon and you asked maybe they reworked this. Like, what was the game called? I already forgot the name of the damn game. Hell's Eden? Metal Eden, thank you. Oh my God. Right? I don't know. It's just
point made. Point well made.
Right? Like, it's just like, you fail. We don't care about, what's it called again? Metal Eden? No. Yeah, Metal Eden. I keep wanting to say Hell's Eden. I don't know why. Like,
are you thinking of Hell's Paradise or something?
I think I'm thinking about Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, maybe. Which also, but yeah,
No.
I mean, we were already talking about that a little bit. But the trailer ended with that they're bringing back Snake versus Monkey, which is interesting because people are like, "Oh, does this mean that like the non-PlayStation versions are getting Snake versus Monkey as well?" No, that's not what that means. They released another specific trailer for Xbox, or at least it was on the Xbox channel, YouTube channel, and it's Bomberman. They had no footage.
It's who?
Like a Bomberman.
Oh, Bomberman. Okay.
Yeah. They didn't have footage. They just had an image of Bomberman at the end of the trailer instead of, the monkey from Ape Escape. Well, so that means that they're still working on it. They don't have any actual footage of what I'm assuming they're going to be calling Snake versus Bomb or Snake versus Bomberman. I don't know how they're going to call it.
Snake versus Man. I don't know.
Yeah. So that was... Well, I was kind of curious to be like, oh, so is this going to be a PlayStation exclusive mode? The answer is yes, Snake vs. Monkey is PlayStation exclusive, but the mode itself is going to be in the other versions. It just won't have the monkeys from Ape Escape. It'll have Bomberman
they did this
instead.
like obviously with the OG Snake Eater, right? Because I think
I think it was in
the Subsistence re-release didn't have Snake versus Monkey on the Xbox or whatever.
No, it doesn't. No.
Right? And that's the thing. So maybe they're just doing something else.
They took out Snake versus Monkeys just flat out of the remakes, the HD remakes.
Yeah, out of the HD remakes. That makes sense. But like the original releases like back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
For the respective consoles. I know they had Snake versus Monkey on that.
Mm-hmm. The Snake versus Monkey is not in the 3DS version, but the 3DS version did have a Yoshi plush that you could shoot at.
That's cool. Because I remember there was items that you could get
or you could
the Snake versus Monkey and use them in the game, like in the actual story of the game. Okay. So that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. I kind of wonder because my money is on Metal Gear Solid Delta also coming to Switch 2. And if that's the case, are they going to bring back the Yoshi plush?
Maybe.
I don't know. It's still too far to tell. We don't know if they're actually going to port it to Switch 2. If Konami knows what's good for them, they would. But that's just me.
Let's not go talk about Konami.
Let's keep it at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Directive 8020.
What else was there?
Directive 8020. Do you remember anything from that trailer? Because I sure as heck don't. It is subtitled as a Dark Pictures game, so it's apparently part of the Dark Pictures.
It's sci-fi horror.
Yeah, it's sci-fi horror. It's apparently made by the developers from Dark Pictures. Because it's like, it literally says Directive 8020, a Dark Pictures game.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's part of the anthology. Considering the setting.
Yeah. This one also made me think of Dead Space. So you know how I feel about games that make me think of other games.
You're not the only one. You're not the only one. A lot of people thought that as well. I did not have that feeling with it personally, but I did see a lot of people saying like, "Oh, this kind of." I thought it was like Dead Space.
Yeah, and I get it, right? Because you're in a ship, you're stuck, you're fighting some sort of alien type thingy. That's Dead Space.
Yeah.
In a nutshell. At least Dead Space 1. I don't know the other 2.
Oh wait, this is the one that I thought was Alien.
Okay.
What the hell was the other one? You know what? It doesn't matter. The fact that I don't remember it means that it was probably not that memorable to me.
Yeah.
What was
I
memorable?
think maybe Hella's Us was weird. I do remember.
No, wait. Hella's Us is the other horror game where it's like kind of creepy and weird, but it was also.
I just remember the guy with the really fat chin in that video trailer.
And it was. I think that one is actually third person. Hella's Us.
Yeah.
So I got those two mixed up. Wow, that's bad. I got those two mixed up. That is not great.
No, it's fine. It just listen. It's not your fault. It just means these games are not worth it.
Oh my god.
That's it.
All right, is Dreams of Another worth it though? It's a pixel junk game.
It's interesting. I like it. This is the one where like you have a gun and you're not shooting to kill people, you're shooting to clear obstacles or whatever.
No, you're shooting to create, yeah.
Sorry, to create, yeah. I think it looks cool. I would definitely give this a go. It's something different, it's something unique. And I like it. I would definitely give this a play.
It is the first time, I don't remember the last game that Q Games put out, but it has been a while since they put out a game. And even more so, this is under the Pixel Junk brand, despite the fact it's not called Pixel Junk Dreams of Another. It's just called Dreams of Another. So the branding seems a little bit off. It makes it sound like Pixel Junk is the developer. It's not. It's the name of a series of games that they've
part
made.
Of the series, yeah.
It's part of a series, yes. But every game is like unique, you know, like Pixel Junk Eden, Monsters 2. I'm pretty sure I'm missing another Pixel Junk game. Dreams of Another looks so good.
Yeah,
like, it's so weird and out there, and like it sticks in your mind. This is a good game to keep an eye out on. And they are 100%. And Q Games have pedigree, so like if you've played Eden, if you've played Monsters or Monsters 2, you know what you're getting into when you are getting a Pixel Junk game. So
100%.
Yeah, 100%. I'm not worried about this one. This one looks like it kind of blew my mind, and I did not know what I was looking at, but I did not hate what I was looking
at. It caught my interest, and the fact that we talked about it, and right away I was like, "Oh, that game!"
Yeah, see,
right? That's exactly it. Yeah.
God dang, there are a lot of generic games out there. Okay.
Do you remember that one phase in the late 2000s when the Xbox 360 came out and every game was made in Unreal Engine 4 and it was just big burly men in a sea of brown?
You mean Unreal Engine 3?
Is it 3?
Yeah, that was 3.
Oh, you're right. That was 3.
Simulator. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. We're going through that again right now. Just maybe with dark blue. I feel like the dark blue navy.
Yeah, I don't.
That's the vibe I'm getting with a lot of these trailers and a lot of these games.
Anything that has more color. Oh my god, this is literally the same conversation I had years ago. Like back in the 360 days when Unreal Engine 3 was popping off because of Gears of War. Because honestly, I feel like Gears of War started it off because another game that came out around that time, I think maybe around the time of Gears of War 2 or something, called Clive Barker's Jericho. That game was so brown. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Why in that era, like from 2000, I want to say 2005, 2006 to like 2008 or 9, every game like that was on the 360 was brown. If it wasn't Halo or a third-party game that did not use Unreal Engine, they were all gosh darn freaking brown.
You know what? It wasn't even on the Xbox 360. It creeped into the PS3 as well.
It was everywhere.
Do you remember there was that launch title, Resistance: Fall of Man?
Yeah, but that wasn't as brown as
oh, dude, it had like a sepia overlay.
Yeah, but that's an overlay. You could
sorry. When I mean overlay, filter. The current phrase is filter.
Yeah, filter. That's a style. That's a stylistic choice, not a.
It was brown.
I mean, it's a style.
Like if you compare that to okay, look at Resistance: Fall of Man and look at Resistance 2.
Yeah.
And you can just see how much more vibrant Resistance 2 is.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of got they got the gist. I mean, even
they bought their colors on the installment program is what they did, and everybody just got brown first.
I mean, even Gears of War eventually got some more colors. I mean, it was gunmetal gray, but it was more colors than just brown.
It's just to make that damn red cog logo stand out. You know, that's the only reason.
You mean complementary colors?
Yeah. We should play Gears of War. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, we should. I mean, I was actually playing through it a while ago for the first time in like a really long time. Like the first one. I think they put out like the
Ultimate Edition or whatever.
Yeah, that one on Xbox. But who knows? That might eventually also come to PlayStation at this point. Like at this point, I feel like Microsoft is just. That is another thing. I was expecting Forza Horizon to be in here. It wasn't. Instead, we got freaking DLC for Lies of P.
Yay! Who wants new games?
No, here's it. I don't even mind that we got the DLC. Why is it coming out so late? That was my question.
So for the first little while, I was like, oh, is this a sequel? And then they're like, it's a DLC. I'm like,
no, I knew that it was. I realized that it was DLC because I don't even know why. Like, in my mind, I figured it was DLC before they said that it was DLC, and I was second guessing myself. Even on stream, I was like, wait, is this DLC or is it a new game? Because it has been long enough, but not long enough for it to be a new game. Otherwise, it would be a very quick cash in, which I don't know if that makes sense for Lies of P. I think it sold well enough and people like it enough, but I don't think it sold well enough for it to get a sequel. But DLC would make sense in that regard.
Yep.
However, if it's only coming out now, that means that DLC was originally never planned for this game. That's how I see it. Because that is the Nintendo mentality. They don't plan. They usually don't plan for DLC outside of maybe stuff like Mario Kart, and even then it was like, And even for Breath of the Wild, they had all these ideas, but they made it into DLC, and they still had ideas left, and that's why we got Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah. Can I just?
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Can I just backtrack for a minute because this makes me laugh?
What?
We know we always talk about how Sony cannot keep a secret.
Oh no.
Right,
Breaking
and
news.
you're mentioning Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah.
You know how it's already available to be wishlist on PSN, right?
It is?
Yeah. So it was kind of found already before the state of play, and I think maybe that's why they didn't announce it. Like right now, I'm on my PS5 here, and I go, and I'll show this to you later once maybe we're done recording. I just go over to search, and the first trending game that pops up is Forza Horizon 5.
Oh, yeah, but usually that is because a lot of people probably wishlisted before you.
Yeah, because it's already been announced. It's already in the app.
Oh, no,
right?
But it was announced. I'm not saying that it wasn't announced. I was saying it was announced, so I was assuming they would also show it off here. Because all they did was saying, like, oh, it's coming, right? And there's a big difference by just telling a reporter that it's coming versus having it be in a state of play, which begs the question if Microsoft did not approach them to have it in the state of play, or Sony just flat out didn't want to have it in the state of play. That's also a possibility, because I don't think they've ever put like Sea
Did
of
they do anything with
Thieves.
like Minecraft?
No, but Minecraft was out before they got bought by Microsoft, so I don't think that counts.
But like if there's any updates when they
I don't think
Microsoft.
Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think they've ever done that. Nintendo did when Minecraft was coming to Wii U, and they had like Wii U exclusive realms, which was like the Mario realm and stuff like that.
Yep.
But once they merged with Microsoft, they did not. I don't think so. And remember, they were one of the first ones to do crossplay. Nintendo and Microsoft, and people were like, "Oh, why are you not doing crossplay with Sony?" And then Sony was like, "Oh, think of the kids." And I was like, "But Nintendo is doing it, and they're all about the kids' safety. Like, what's your excuse? No, really, what's your excuse? Don't say kid safety, because it's not that." And it's just because they want their own walled garden, and eventually they had to like give into it, the pressure.
So you know what? I there's an article from Windows Central, and after the state of play, and this might be a reason why Sony, being Sony, didn't mention anything, is because there's a fun little tidbit of information that Microsoft might be legit publishing more games on the PS5 than Sony will be this year.
You're joking.
No, it's an actual article.
Well, that makes sense. What do they have to publish? They have a bunch of live service games that they canceled. They have nothing for this year, as far as I'm aware.
And that's the other disappointment. We didn't get a single word about any single player game. Like, what if we got like a Wolverine announcement? What if we got
No,
like
Wolverine is too early.
what do you
Wolverine's
mean
way
it's too early?
No, it's too early because they just finished Spider-Man 2, like what, 6 months, 7 months ago?
Okay. So, okay, let me ask you a question. When do you think like there was that leak that I think showed what they have in their on their roadmap. When is Wolverine supposed to come out?
I don't remember that. I did not look up that leak, I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember
Okay,
what
that's
it
fair.
said on the roadmap. Yeah, but here's the thing. When stuff like that happens, it shifts the timetable.
Oh yeah.
So who knows at this point? Also remember, they were working also on a live service game, the Spider-Man live service game, and that
Oh
got
right.
canned. So everything shifted when that game got canceled. And
Yeah.
everything got shifted even more when they canceled the DLC for Spider-Man 2.
That's true. That I remember. Because I was gonna say they did announce Spider-Man 2 with a teaser trailer in like 2021, I think.
Spider-Man 2? No, that was
Yeah.
20. That
It
was
came out in
2020.
2023.
Yeah. Wait,
So,
Spider-Man
but when
2
did
came out in
they
2023.
and
Oh, probably end of 2023, didn't it?
it was October, November 2023, if I'm
Okay,
not mistaken.
that makes more sense. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's been
So
out for a year. That means that they've been working on that Spider-Man live action game for a while, and then that got canceled somewhere halfway through 2024. That means that stuff got shifted,
they
and then
announced.
it got leaked, and then
Yep.
stuff probably got shifted again. So now we
So,
don't know
but
where
here's
they
the thing.
are with the development of that.
But Wolverine has been in development for some time now because they announced it the same time they announced Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, but it was. I don't
That
know
was
if
2001.
does Insomniac have two development
Sorry,
teams?
2021.
That's my question. And also, it was a CG trailer. I do not take progression of a project based
Yeah.
on when it's a CG trailer. Like,
Well, that's
not to
fair.
be disrespectful.
No, and that's
It's
fine. But if you're announcing a game, I would assume you are at least at some point in development that if you're putting out something to announce,
true, and that's why
right?
it's been taking 8 years for Metroid Prime to come out. Well, to
With
be
all due
fair,
respect,
they
I
did
waited a
cancel the
decade for Final
game.
Fantasy 15.
They did cancel the initial Metroid Prime 4 project and rebooted from the ground up
Yeah.
back in, I want to say 2019. Because it got announced somewhere in mid 2017, and then the project fell through, and I want to say Retro pitched them a game, and then they were like, okay, you do it, we'll give you the project instead. So they had to start from the ground up. So that's why it's been taking forever.
By the way, to answer your question, there are 2 studios for Insomniac games.
Oh, okay. So that means one of them is working on Wolverine, which is fair, assuming that they were fully committed to Wolverine development and not like supporting the other team with other stuff, or other teams inside of Sony with other stuff, which they do also do on occasion. So yeah, Wolverine. I wasn't expecting that to be there, but it would have been a nice surprise. You know what? Also would have been a nice surprise.
What?
Bloodborne.
Yeah, right. That's never gonna happen. I've given up all hope.
I figured that they might, considering they took down the mod for PlayStation 4 Pro, have it run at 60 frames all of a sudden. So everybody was like, oh, maybe they're putting out their own thing. Nope.
Sony's just being Sony.
Sony being Sony.
Sony being Sony.
Even though it's been out for 5 years, it's like, why are you doing it now? It makes no sense.
Let me ask you a question. How freaking, I'm not a developer, so I'm not going to sit here and just say, just do it.
Yeah.
But how hard is it to even just get an enhancement upgrade? Visually, the game is fine. Just give me 60 frames.
Depends on the engine. Because I'm assuming that they use a proprietary engine.
Well, yeah.
So you'd have to have a team learn the engine, but then again, if right. So here's one of the problems with that, right? So if they were to do it again, one, there's a lot of political answers that came out as to why there's not a Bloodborne re-release or remaster or remake or whatever.
I don't even want that.
Sony says it's From Software, like the director, he wants to do it himself, and he was like, yeah, Bloodborne is not our IP. We'd be happy to do like a remake or whatever, but you have to ask the IP holder, which is Sony. So they're now doing this. And at this point, it's like, okay, so it's not so much a technical issue. It's a one party doesn't want to do it for some reason. And the other party is like, well, we can't legally do anything because it's not ours to make decisions on.
But it's like, you have a game that's highly touted, highly in demand.
Yeah.
And you're going to put out, or you're going to let people put crap out like Days Gone?
So remember, do you know who did the Demon Souls remake on PlayStation 5? Do you remember the studio?
I'm going to look this up now.
It's Bluepoint, by the way.
Okay.
So Bluepoint Studios did Demon Souls, and they did a really good job on it. Apparently, I haven't played it on a PlayStation 5. So
I do own it, and I do have a PlayStation 5, and I haven't been able to run it.
You haven't been able to run Dark Souls? Demon Souls?
It's a digital copy.
Uh-huh.
I downloaded it for kicks and giggles because I think I played the original Demon Souls.
Yeah,
Demon Souls was Demon Souls, I think, was published by Atlas or something back in the day, if I'm not mistaken.
That one was well, that's the ironic part of it, isn't it? That one was published by also by Sony.
Well, in North America, it was published by Atlas.
No, it was published by Sony. You mean in Canada it was published by Atlas? Because Sony
the original Demon Souls in
the
Demon
early
Souls 2000s.
Yeah, Sony holds the rights to Demon Souls.
Yep. But they published it in Japan.
Yeah.
In North America, it was published by Atlas, and in PAL regions, it was published by Namco Bandai.
Okay, that makes sense. That's why Dark Souls is done by Bandai Namco. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Anyway, sorry, going back. I tried to log into it, and I keep airing out. I can't play the game.
Oh, that's
so weird. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm sure it's a great game.
Everybody was expecting them to be working on a Dark Souls remaster or whatever. But yeah, guess what they were working on? Not that.
God.
They were working on a live service game. I think they were working on.
Was it the God of War one?
Yeah, it's that one.
Yeah.
Because
they did support for Ragnarok, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they did. Everybody was so upset when they found out that was the thing that they were working on and not Dark Souls. But yeah, now they are not working on that, thank goodness. But that does mean that they're free to do something else. But that would mean that if they are going to do Bloodborne, all these games. If they are going to do Bloodborne, then it's going to take a while for it to come out. And even if it's a PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5 game, and even if they have experience with the franchise, sort of, I can see this still taking, well, depending on how much effort they are allowed to put into it in terms of like time frames and stuff like that, a minimum of a year to 2 years, maybe, I think.
Okay. Fair enough.
As long as they have access to the assets.
Here's my counter proposal for this. And this is all I think a lot of people would want. Well, maybe not want, but maybe it'd be a good olive branch or like something to get people, Sony back into their good graces.
Yeah.
Take the PS4 version. Do nothing with it like you already have. And like so many other games, just make a PS4 Pro enhancement.
But for PS5?
Not even for PS5. Just don't transfer your assets. Don't build it from the ground up. None of this start from scratch stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just do what so many other games did back in the day and put out a PS4 Pro mode. And then when you play it on PS5, you have access to that, just like you do with other games. Games that have PS4 Pro support have that same support as PS5 because it's capable. Do that. Give us 60 frames per second. We'll be happy. I'm assuming that might be a quicker fix, and that'll give you time to put out a full-blown remake and then charge me $60 for it.
You know what the ironic part of that is? It's not an easy fix.
I probably not, but hope and a prayer.
Yeah, because the thing is, even if they make an enhanced version, that would mean that it need the assets that that needs to be put out there so it runs better.
Fair enough.
Which is
I was just
still
hoping.
tweaking.
I'm just trying to be.
I'm
just trying to be optimistic.
I know, but most people think like, oh, optimize is just like a button. It's like, no, you need assets to make it work. Yeah. That's why PC gamers are always like looking down their noses, because that stuff is already baked into the game.
See,
basically, they make it for the highest running thing possible, or maybe something below that so that it's more accessible. And then you have literally like PC settings, so you can set it to your heart's content to what runs best on your system.
Yeah. And that's maybe where I'm coming from. Like, I'm not trying to put my nose down or be like, oh, PC master race. But of course, I see those settings in PC and like, optimized for performance or optimized for frame rate, right? And like quality versus performance or whatever. And we can do that. And I mean, I've seen PS4 games do it too. And I'm just like, maybe there's something, because I've heard that too. The development process is, develop for the most highest end and then shave down, right?
No, it's the wrong way around, by the way. It's always up. It's always they start from the lowest point and then move up.
Oh, they move up. Oh,
yeah. Because if you start from high and move down, it's way more work than moving from down to up.
Okay, fair enough.
That's why.
Fair enough.
That's why when a couple of years ago, when we were getting like simultaneous Switch releases, you would notice that the Xbox version and the PlayStation versions ran way better than the Switch version.
Yeah.
Because
and that's like, again,
the lowest threshold has been met, and now they can just scale up.
Yep. This is why I will never develop a game, because I would do it backwards and it would be a mess.
I mean, you can do that on PC, but I don't know how well that would work.
I feel like if I developed a game, your Switch to explode, because I'd be trying to like push too many pixels, but I digress.
Yeah. Last few games that I kind of want to talk about, unless there are any other games that you want to talk about as well. Some highlights. I mean, we already knew that was coming out, so there's not really that much to talk about. Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Still looks good. Still looks crazy. Kind of looking forward to seeing that. Digimon got a game.
I'm intrigued.
And like the first time I saw it, I was like, wait, what is this? This game looks super weird. It's like Bandai Namco. And then all of a sudden you see Digimon appear on the screen. You're like, wait, what? This is a Digimon game. And it's Digimon Story Time Stranger, which is part of the Digimon Cyber Sleuth series, apparently. And the last game in that series was like 7 or 8 years ago. So people are actually kind of excited about this one. It looks fine, but looking at the trailer again, if you look at the trailer, you can see what I mean with stuff is developed from the bottom up, because this game is also coming to Switch.
Got it.
And if you look at the trailer again, then you're like, oh yeah, you're making sense. Because it does, like, you can tell that some of the assets are like lower poly counts. But like the textures are, a bit higher.
Yeah. So. I'm excited to play this. I would play this.
It looks.
I haven't played a Digimon game.
I've never played.
I've not played a Digimon. It really? No. The only one I've ever played is like the OG Digimon World on the first PlayStation.
Yeah, I was not really into the Digimon back in the day. I watched the series on TV.
Oh yeah.
And that's where I drew the line.
Okay, fair enough.
Why would I want to play? Because here's the thing. Part of me was like, the games will never capture the experience of the TV show, and that's why I skipped it. Which is kind of funny, because the opposite is actually true of Pokemon, where it doesn't capture the experience of this TV show. Yeah. Because the TV show like basically just does whatever.
Yeah.
A Pikachu winning against the Onyx? Okay. Can I do that in the
strongest Pokemon of everything?
Oh my god. The TV show made so many weird concessions, and mostly because they kind of had sort of free reign, which is just... Okay, anyway, sorry. Digimon Story Time Stranger looks cool. Dave the Diver getting DLC in collaboration with Like a Dragon. Ichiban's Holiday which is crazy. Dave the Diver, if you haven't played it yet, there's a demo out on, I'm pretty sure, every system. Please play Dave the Diver. At least,
Yes.
at the very least, the demo.
I'll give
Because
it a
it
try,
is so much fun. I need to pick it up myself, actually. I played the demo. It was like really fun. And I was like, I'm gonna wait for it to be on sale and then get it then. But I kept missing out. I kept forgetting because I was playing other games. But it looks really cool. It kind of reminds me of. You remember when Shovel Knight had all these collabs?
Yeah.
Yeah. This feels kind of like that. But this is David. They also had a Godzilla collab. I think it was Dave the Diver, or it
awesome.
was In the Deep. One of those two. Oh no, they also had a collab with In the Deep. Yeah, Dave the Diver does a lot of collabs. Just saying. It looks good. It looks fine. And then there was this game called Darwin's Paradox, which reminded me a lot of Limbo and Inside in terms of gameplay.
Yeah. Meh.
It looked
that was
quirky.
a meh for me.
It looked quirky. It also just looked fine. Once you've played that kind of game, it's like, yeah, I've seen it all. Yeah. But this time you're an octopus.
I think the only other one that I really, really got excited for was we've already seen it. It's just Split Fiction.
Oh my!
I think that's gonna be good.
How would we gone an hour and not talk about Split Fiction?
We just did. There you go. Well, we've seen a lot of it. The thing is, we've seen a lot of it already. We knew it was coming out.
Yeah.
So it's one of those games, and I think we saw it at the last State of Play as well.
No, this is the first State of Play since the Game Awards.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like we saw it before that somewhere because we saw it was another.
Yeah, no.
Maybe I'm going crazy.
The Game Awards is the first time we saw it, and then this is the second trailer for it.
Oh, you're right. Okay, sorry. Yeah, it looks good. I'm excited for it, but it's it's gonna be fun. I don't care about the Stellar Blade team up or DLC or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, the collab with Nikkei. Yeah.
Yeah. Midnight Walk, meh.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you didn't like that?
That was okay. Meh.
Oh, and of course, Warriors Abyss, which is a Dynasty Warriors roguelike game, which I did not see coming, but it looks kind of cool.
I'll give it a try. If it's on PS Plus, I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's really it.
That's really it.
Can we just totally skip WWE 2K25 because I was stupid.
I wasn't even gonna mention it, but yeah.
So stupid.
I'm sorry to all the wrestle nuts out there. Wrestling, loved it as a child, but kind of grew out of it. So
no, okay, that's fine. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with the game, and enjoying wrestling. But it's just like, is that really State of Play worthy? It comes out every year. That's like if they announced
2K.
a new Madden or a new FC.
2K.
It's 2K. But we knew it's coming out. Like, okay, fine. The big deal is you took something that worked in NBA 2K and you moved into WWE. Whoop-de frickin' do. Like, I don't know. I didn't see anyone jumping out of their seats for that. So.
No. Plus, the last couple of games have been pretty horrible in terms of quality.
Yeah, I haven't played a WWE game since the PlayStation 1.
Just bugs galore. I haven't played a WWE game ever, I think. But yeah, no, I whenever they come out and they get reviewed, you see the highlight reels of bugs in those games, and it's kind of like back in the day when FIFA had all those
good stuff,
highlight reels as well.
Yeah. Well, I think that was basically everything in State of Play.
If you were to give this State of Play a grade, what would it be?
I think I'd have to give it a B, a B plus. It wouldn't be an A. I think I give it a solid. Yeah, I'll go with a B plus if we're doing a little bit of a range, or a B. Strong showing, good outing, a little safe.
Yeah.
If I can say that, I'd like to see more. I think there's a lot more that they could have announced, or a lot more I think there's games that we know are already coming, but we'd love to see or hear about.
Yeah.
Instead, we played it safe, and we didn't rock the boat too much. So good outing, but could be better. So be.
No, I also gave it a B. Mostly because I actually enjoyed it for the most part.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm gonna be honest, it's like that is a rare thing for me in State of Plays. Usually, I'm just like, oh, okay, cool, yeah. And then there's like the
Yeah.
one thing that maybe pops out, and then like, okay, everything else kind of sucked, but this one thing was really cool, and this kind of was just like consistently okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
It'll do.
not a lot of stuff that really made me go like, except for like like Five Nights at Freddy's and the WWE stuff.
I was like,
And
why
seeing
is this
and
even here?
also seeing Randy Pitchford did not really make me like, bring
Don't forget
confidence.
the other Randy.
And the other Randy was fine. Pitchford just no.
Just hope he didn't leave a USB drive there. Allegedly.
Sorry. Yeah. Outside of that, most games actually look pretty cool. We do seem to be hitting a kind of a generic lull in like the game releases, which is, I don't know. It's okay. It's fine. It's not harming anybody, but it also feels like there's not enough innovation in the game industry at this point, and everybody's relying on certain developers and certain like companies to like bring out the A game. So I guess we'll wait until then, because Microsoft is putting out actually some interesting stuff, which is honestly kind of wild in my opinion.
Yeah.
Sony has
Didn't think you'd say
nothing
that
right
out loud
now.
in so long.
Sony has squat. We don't know what Nintendo's working on, but considering that last year was a pretty tame year for Nintendo, I have to assume that for the Switch 2 launch, they're coming guns blazing. Sony just shot themselves in the foot like 5 years ago, and now they're paying the price.
Yeah.
By making decisions that made no sense. And now, I mean, the news articles are there were a couple of articles out there alleging, well, because theorizing, probably a better term to say, about why Sean Layden left, why he like retired, because apparently it was partially spearheaded by him, and the other half is Herman Hulst, who oversees PlayStation Studios. It's also partly one of the reasons why he got sorta kind of demoted, whereas his co-CEO is now the sole CEO of like PlayStation Studios or PlayStation Sony Interactive Entertainment, sorry. And he's still overseeing like all the studios as he was before. So he kind of got an upgrade and then got downgraded, and not great.
Yeah,
not great. Not a great look. So I don't know if he's gonna stick with the company for very long or if whatever. And also, let's not forget that Shuhei Yoshida left, is leaving Sony as well.
Yeah,
or has left Sony.
We're just gonna have to wait and see.
So, yeah, I here's the thing. Don't expect a Sony showcase this summer. That's what I'm thinking. I think they might do a regular State of Play, but don't expect a showcase in the summer at least. They might do one in the fall, because they have done it before in the past in the fall, but don't expect one in the summer. This one was okay, solid B, not a lot to complain about. They showed some good third-party games. So if you're a Sony fan and you like playing third-party games on your PlayStation, hey, you're eating good. If not, and you're just like, oh, I just want all the Sony Studios games, well, you're going to have to be a little bit more patient.
Yep. They're still cooking.
Yeah, they're still, unfortunately, cooking. With that said, thank you so much for watching, everybody, and thank you so much for listening. If you're listening to this on your podcasting service, if your podcasting service lets you leave reviews, please leave a review of the podcast to let them know that you like it. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you liked it. Put in the comments, what is your grade for the PlayStation State of Play? Were there any games that you liked that you saw in the State of Play that you're looking forward to? And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button to see more of game arrivals. And I have to say, once again, Denirukun, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. Tell
My
the
pleasure.
lovely people where they can find you.
You guys can find me all over the place. I finally just set up a Blue Sky.
Oh, yeah, I saw.
Yeah, right. So you can find me there. I will try to be more active because Lord knows I do nothing on Twitter. But yeah, you can find me on all those socials: Twitter, Instagram. Um, I'm drawing a blank. Twitch. That's where I stream a lot. So everything's available on my Linktree. So just go to Linktree/Denirukun
Yeah. I'll put the link tree also in the description below. And I will leave my link tree as well in the descriptions below, so you can find the stuff that I do on Twitch and on Instagram, and also on Blue Sky. I try to be more active on Blue Sky and post some stuff there as well. Game Rivals is also now finally on Blue Sky, so you can find us there. Link tree for Game Rivals stuff is also in the description below. Thank you so much for being here, Denny. Appreciate you.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much for watching and listening. I have been and always will be Maximilian X, together with Denirukun here, and we'll see all of you beautiful rivals next time. Later.
See ya.